Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market report for Friday, November 30th, 2018. Happy Friday, everyone. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. This is the last trading day of the week and of the month. Next month begins on Monday, which is the final month of the year. We will be hosting a PivotBoss monthly market outlook after the close on Monday. You won't want to miss that. We'll see how we finish out here the rest of the year after the recent price action here, and what we'll be looking for. We'll also look for candidates heading into the end of the year and into the beginning of the year. So please join me Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time after the market closes for our monthly market outlook. If we take a look here at the ES, you'll notice here, we've kind of been coiling up pretty good here. And we had the initial sell-off here, pullback. Big up day, kind of a hold day, and then bam, slam. Another pullback, big up day, a hold day, and slam. Another pullback, big up day, a hold day. Are we about to slam again? Or is this going to be different? Again, this market here has a very clear trading range from basically 26 up to about 28. 28.25 is the level I mentioned before. If we can get above 28.25, that's when things really start to happen, because again, that's when we perhaps start to get much higher. I think on this current flow here, we may see some sort of pullback, and if that pullback is defended, say at 2,700 or above, that could provide a very nice continuation toward 28.25, and again, at that level will be a major decision point down the road. Overall, this market continues to see a very choppy back and forth after the initial sell-off, which is very similar to what we saw earlier in the year. Initial sell-off, back and forth for many months before we finally started to resolve directional bias there. And so in this case, we're seeing the very same type of behavior. We could continue to see a lot more build out before we see the next major move. So again, this could continue to persist here. So we don't have to go up, we don't have to go anywhere. We could continue to stay in this range and continue to build out quite a bit more before we see that directional confirmation one way or another. So keep that in mind. Today, what I'd be looking for is the previous session's low. Keep an eye on the previous session's low here. That's going to be very important. If price gets down below that low and there's a trap and pops back above that low, that could be very bullish in the near term. If price gets below that low and there is not much action, there's not much of a pop, and instead price starts to eat through those lows and eat through Wednesday's midpoint, that could be very bearish, as we could have another stop run day down similar to this day or any one of these days here where the previous session's low is taken out and you start to run down through it. So keep an eye on the previous session's low. That's going to be the most important level to watch here today. If you take a look here at the NQ, very similar type of price action where we've had the major sell-off here, a little bump higher, a nice push higher, a hold day, and slam. Another bump higher, nice push higher here, a hold day, and slam. Another bump, nice push higher, a hold day. Again, are we going to slam down again? We have lower highs. We're in a downtrending channel. We're coming up to the previous month's close here. And so really, for the month of November, we haven't gone much of anywhere when it comes down to it. We held at the previous close, went up, failed through the close, came back to it, and we're basically right around there. So again, mostly neutral here throughout the month. So how are we going to play out today? Again, keep an eye on the previous month's close, or previous session's close, and the Wednesday midpoint. If price gets down into that zone, call it 6,800. That's a good area where bulls need to keep bid for a shot at pushing this thing quietly higher into the rest of the day. Otherwise, a failure to hold that zone opens up, again, another push downward where we could be looking at a dip into 6,500 again. So keep an eye on that previous session's low. If we take a look at crude oil, this one has struggled to find strength. And in the trading room, we've been watching this, 4 signs of strength. The only time where we had a pretty decent shot was here, and it failed hard. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 days sideways. Here's another inside day. That's about as much as you get here lately before you start to drop down another leg, right? You've been going sideways, then drop, sideways, drop, sideways, drop, sideways, drop, and now here's sideways. 52.5 is a big time level. I've talked about it all week long. We started the week saying, hey, if price gets into 52.25 to 52.50, it's probably a sell this week for 49s. We got as low as 49.41, didn't quite get the 49.17s, very close, but we did get into the 49s. That's still the level, because above that level could lead to at least a one-day stop run, but we have never seen that ever since this thing started selling off at the beginning of October. We have not seen not one good strong up day without it being rejected at the highs in some manner. So again, this could be a major slam to the downside yet again. If we break down through 50 pretty hard, we could be dropping into 45 by the end of the day if it really wanted to. Again, this thing is really coiled up. A lot of great pent up energy in here. Whichever way it goes, it could be a good 3 to 4 handle move over the next day or two. So it could be significant. So keep an eye there on recent lows in that 52 half high there. Very clear range, and one way or another we likely get a move, likely to the downside. Here's a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin down another 6%. We talked about this for a while, that if we can't go up, we likely flush. If we flush, first target would be 4,500. If we get below that level, 2,100 is the next level down. Look at the sideways action here. Look at the hard drop. You see the PIMAs there, they start to come down to provide resistance. Price came into the trigger zone barely here and already dropping out of it with a sell signal again. Very bearish type of price action right now. Not likely to stop this drop at any time here until price can get above 4,400 now. Once price can get above 4,400, perhaps there could be a return back towards 6K. But the way it's going right now, we have a downtrend. We have a major range that got the energy released to the downside. This is the first pullback, and we could see another drop down. So 2,100 could easily be ahead for this one down the road, unless price can start getting back above 4,400, in which case we could make a return trip back towards 6. But do we get through it? That might be an area to sell it yet again. So right now, Bitcoin very bearish, not really doing a whole lot, but going down. This pullback right here is a perfect PIMA pullback in a downtrending market, which suggests more weakness ahead. And that's what we're currently seeing today. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the final day of trading for the month. Please join me Monday after the market for the PivotBoss monthly market outlook using the Join Me code PivotBoss. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your morning. I'll see you soon. Take care.